You ever seen a billionaire lose his temper in 4K? Because Floyd Mayweather just detonated on Jake Paul. And the internet's acting like they just saw the boxing gods collide on pay-per-view. This isn't your average trash talk. This is Floyd Mayweather exposes Jake Paul. The uncensored version that makes reality TV look like bedtime stories.
So how do you feel like you get out of that bubble to make somebody a real boxer?
I mean, what he's doing is, kind of cool. If he can continue to steal money, and they match him the way they match him, I can't knock his hustle. So if they can match him the way how they've been matching him.
It all started after the Gervonta Davis fight collapsed. 1 minute, the ring was set, the money was stacked, and fans were screaming for knockouts. The next, boom! The whole thing vanished faster than Jake Paul's boxing credibility. And when the smoke cleared, Mayweather came swinging, not with gloves, but with words sharp enough to cut through Jake's ego like a hot knife through an influencer's career. What Floyd just revealed about Jake Paul has fans calling it the KO of the century. And the craziest part, it didn't even happen inside the ring. Floyd's receipts, Jake's reaction, and the chaos that followed have turned the fight world upside down. This isn't boxing anymore. This is psychological warfare dressed in Gucci belts and Instagram filters. And trust me, you won't believe how far Mayweather went to expose the Paul brother who thought he could play with legends. Let's set the stage. The world of boxing was buzzing louder than a Las Vegas casino when whispers started floating that something was off with the upcoming Gervonta Davis fight. Fans were hyped, promoters were giddy, and social media was foaming at the mouth, waiting for another round of viral chaos. Then suddenly, boom, the entire fight collapsed. No punches, no press conference, no knockout, just silence. But in that silence, Floyd Mayweather decided to talk. And when Mayweather talks, it's like the entire fight world hits pause. He didn't just drop a few subliminals on Instagram Live. No, this man went full expose mode. We're talking about a verbal haymaker that left Jake Paul's entire YouTube empire wobbling. To understand how wild this got, you gotta rewind. Floyd Mayweather, undefeated, untouchable, and practically allergic to losing, had spent months keeping his cool. He watched Jake Paul run around the internet, barking challenges like a kid who just discovered a new cheat code. Jake was calling out legends left and right. I'll knock out Tyson. Give me Canelo. Floyd's old news. The man was turning boxing into a TikTok prank. Now Floyd usually lets that nonsense roll off like sweat in the 12th round. But when Jake started mentioning Gervonta Davis, Floyd's protege, his golden boy, his cash printing machine, that's when the money man lost his patience. Because in Mayweather's world, you can play with the brand, but not with the bloodline. The timeline leading to the explosion was pure chaos. Reports started leaking that the Gervonta Davis fight, the one everyone had been hyping for weeks, was suddenly postponed due to logistical conflicts. Translation? Somebody pulled the plug. But here's where it gets dirty. Sources whispered that Jake Paul and his camp had something to do with it. Some even claimed Jake had been trolling behind the scenes, dropping shade on Gervonta's training schedule and laughing about real boxers being scared to fight the YouTube generation. Big mistake, because Floyd Mayweather doesn't ignore shade. He bottles it, labels it, and sells it as motivation. Within hours, Mayweather went live on Instagram wearing a diamond chain heavier than Jake's career ambitions, sipping wine like a man who came prepared to destroy reputations. And he did. He started with calm energy, then turned volcanic. I see these boys playing boxer, Floyd said, smirking. But when the real pressure comes, they disappear. You can't buy legacy. You can't tweet greatness. You gotta earn it. Fans went insane. The comment section turned into a digital riot. He talking about Jake. Oh, he mad. YB moment for boxing. But that was just the warm-up. Mayweather leaned in closer to the camera, the same way he leans in before throwing that perfect counterpunch, and said, Jake Paul's the type to talk about fighting lions when he's scared of the sound of his own footsteps. Mick, drop. The clip went viral faster than any of Jake's fights. Within an hour, Danger Floyd exposes Jake was trending worldwide. Reaction channels were breaking it down frame by frame. Did you see the smirk when he said footsteps? Floyd ain't just exposing him, he's ending him. But the real kicker came when Floyd started spilling behind-the-scenes tea.
At the time, people badly wanted you and Jake Paul to fight. is he someone you're interested in or no?
Well, you know, if you go back, you got to do your homework, look on the internet. I think he was doing a sit down on a podcast one time, and he talked about it. He said, I don't want to do an exhibition against Floyd Mayweather. Yeah. He said, I'm only doing real fights. Now, of course, I can't get up high in weight, but I'll fight him in a real fight at the weight that I'm at. But Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
Have you been impressed?
But one thing I like about him, one thing I do like about him, he's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money.
Behind the scenes tea, he claimed Jake had been trying to insert himself into Gervonta's event, not as a fighter, but as a co-promoter. Apparently, Jake had been trying to attach his name to the card to get clout, sell tickets, and revive boxing with influencer energy. Floyd wasn't having it. Influencer energy? Floyd said, "We've been doing numbers before the word algorithm existed." That one line alone had fight purists cheering like it was the 4th of July. Old school boxing fans came out of retirement just to say, finally someone said it. Meanwhile, Jake was unusually quiet. And that's how you know Floyd hit a nerve. Normally, Jake would be tweeting every 5 minutes, dropping memes, or filming some I'm unbothered vlog. But this time, nothing. Just silence. The kind of silence that screams damage control, and fans noticed. When Jake quiet, you know he got rocked, one tweet said. Another joked, somebody check on Logan. Jake's Wi-Fi probably disconnected from embarrassment. Then the internet's favorite digital archaeologists, you know, the people who dig deeper than TMZ on a bad day, started pulling up receipts. They found old interviews where Jake bragged about being the new Floyd, claiming he'd already surpassed boxing's dinosaurs. Well, the dinosaur just bit back. But the best part? Floyd didn't even stop there. He started exposing alleged contract details, calling out Jake's fake fight offers, and revealing how much of Jake's boxing empire was smoke and mirrors. He calls it most valuable promotions, but he the only one getting promoted, Floyd said, smirking. Everyone else just props for his ego, and fans ate it up. The boxing community turned into a talk show. Reporters were calling Floyd's rant the most entertaining knockout since Conor McGregor's press conference meltdown. Twitter turned into a war zone of memes. One photo showed Jake photoshopped as a YouTuber holding a Nerf glove, captioned, "The future of boxing." Another had Floyd holding Jake's influencer plaque like a championship belt. And while the internet was howling, Floyd kept dropping bombs. He claimed that Jake was trying to steal media slots meant for Gervonta, allegedly demanding a co-headliner spotlight for a fight he wasn't even in. He even hinted that Jake's team had been leaking false stories to paint the Davis fight as falling apart because Floyd's camp got scared. Scared? Floyd laughed. "I don't get scared. I sell fear." And he bought it. That quote instantly went viral on TikTok. Fans remixed it with dramatic fight music, slow-motion edits, even AI-generated animations of Floyd knocking out Jake's ego. Within 24 hours, Sell Fear, Buy Clout had over 20 million views. Jake finally broke his silence days later, but it was too late. The internet had already crowned Mayweather the undisputed king of verbal knockouts. Jake tried to brush it off, posting a cryptic tweet. "Floyd's still mad I took his spotlight." But fans weren't buying it. "Spotlight?" one reply said. "Bro, you're the flashlight in Floyd's stadium."
Confident, to really believe in themselves, but you need more than that mindset. You need to have the full package of everything that I'm talking about, what Floyd has got.
Fighters should only want to get better. The more you win, the more you should work hard. If you think about losing, you're gonna lose. All I ever thought about was winning. So that's all I know.
Floyd would visualize his success before he even stepped into the ring. There was no alternative to him but winning. And this mindset isn't just for boxing, it's for all walks of life. And I've actually done a full video talking about how I used this mindset of visualization to win my Olympic medal. And it was an absolute game changer. Now, Floyd used to use this mindset to ease the pressure that he put himself under. And he made himself think like, I'm not under any pressure right now, where he was under immense pressure.
Pressure either makes you or break you. Well, you see where I'm at, so it's obvious that I'm the type of athlete or I'm the type of entertainer that can deal with pressure. There's never no pressure.
And if you watch his fight in 2013 when he fought Canelo Alvarez Canelo came in a young, strong, undefeated fighter, but by round 2, Floyd kind of had him figured out. He was reading Canelo's jab. He would slip outside and then come back with a clean counter punch, then move his feet and get out of the way. He basically had the full fight under control, and he was controlling the full rhythm of the fight. He was forcing Canelo to fight at his pace. And this is what he would do in all of his fights. He would get his opponent to do what he wanted them to do without their opponent even realizing it, which is what we call boxing IQ. Now, even though I'm not a fan of Floyd Mayweather personally, because of the time when I did meet him, what he said to me made me just feel like this guy is a piece of...
By then, the story had spiraled into something way bigger than just boxing. This wasn't about punches anymore. It was about pride, legacy, and a billionaire icon reminding the world that experience beats arrogance every time. And trust me, this was just the opening bell. Because if Floyd Mayweather's verbal jab was enough to trend globally, you won't believe what happened when other fighters, and even celebrities, jumped into the chaos next. The boxing world wasn't just watching anymore, it was exploding. When Floyd Mayweather speaks, the fight world listens, but when he exposes, the internet combusts. After that fiery rant, the story spread faster than Jake Paul could upload a response video. Within hours, the entire entertainment world had turned the Mayweather-Paul feud into the biggest unscripted crossover event since Kanye versus Common Sense. Jake's silence was already suspicious. He went from tweeting every 2 minutes to vanishing like a magician with bad Wi-Fi. Meanwhile, Floyd's quotes were everywhere, from ESPN panels to TikTok edits narrated by fans using dramatic movie voiceovers. The captions read things like, "When the champ gets tired of influencer energy," and "Legacy doesn't need hashtags." But Floyd wasn't done stirring the pot. He was cooking a 5-course meal of chaos. In a follow-up interview with a sports network, Mayweather dropped the line that would break the algorithm. Jake Paul's like a used Lamborghini, flashy on the outside, leased on the inside. Boom! Twitter erupted like a Vegas slot machine on a lucky streak. Memes, remixes, even rap edits using that line flooded every timeline. Someone made a fake dealership ad reading, 2025, Jake Paul, low mileage, no real fights, financing available through YouTube views. At this point, even people who'd never watched a boxing match were tuning in just for the drama. Influencers, athletes, comedians, everyone wanted a piece of this viral wildfire. Logan Paul tried to jump in, defending his brother on a podcast, saying, "Floyd's obsessed with us. He can't stay relevant without mentioning our name." But that backfired instantly. Floyd clapped back mid-interview with a smirk. "Relevant? I made $1 billion punching air. Your brother made $50 punching a mascot." And just like that, Logan caught a stray harder than any jab Floyd ever threw. Fans were laughing so hard you could practically hear the memes loading. One fan commented, "Floyd just dropped bars, not punches." Another wrote, "Logan entered the chat and got folded for free." Then came the real bombshell, leaked audio. A recording surfaced online where Floyd allegedly told a promoter, "Jake's been trying to buy attention, not fights. He thinks boxing's a TikTok trend." No one could confirm if it was real, but that didn't matter. The internet crowned it gospel. TikTokers started lip-syncing the quote with fake boxing gloves. Influencers made Jake Paul trend-chasing tutorials, and late-night hosts turned it into monologues. Jimmy Kimmel even joked, "Jake Paul's boxing career is like crypto. Lots of hype, zero stability." The fallout hit Jake like a hook to the jaw. Brands started backing away. His fight sponsors got quiet. His own fans started asking for refunds on his merch. One tweet that went viral said, "If Floyd dropped a YouTuber, does that count as a knockout or a community guideline strike?" But Jake, being Jake, couldn't stay silent forever. Days later, he finally posted a response video titled, "The Truth About Floyd Mayweather." Dramatic lighting, serious tone, and the usual mix of half facts and full confidence. He called Floyd bitter, accused him of clout chasing, and even claimed he was the reason boxing is relevant again. Big mistake. Floyd responded within hours, not with words, but with proof. He posted screenshots of ticket sales, pay-per-view numbers, and stats from his Gervonta Davis promotions that completely buried Jake's claims. The caption? "Facts don't need filters." Fans lost their minds. Floyd came with receipts like an angry accountant, one tweet said. Another joked, Jake opened Google Docs. Floyd opened Pandora's box. Meanwhile, celebrities were picking sides like it was the Met Gala of beefs. 50 Cent, never one to miss a chance to throw shade, jumped on Instagram and wrote, Floyd hit that boy so hard he trending on LinkedIn. Even Mike Tyson weighed in, laughing during an interview, saying, Jake's mouth rights checks his body can't cash. Floyd just repossessed it. The memes got even worse for Jake. People started calling him Jake Kapow, the notorious faller, and the influencer, who cried knockout. TikTok users made compilations, titled Every Time Floyd Mayweather Ended Jake Paul's Wi-Fi. It was savage, and the internet couldn't look away. But behind all the comedy, something deeper was happening. Floyd wasn't just clowning Jake for fun, he was defending boxing itself. He said in another interview, boxing used to be about greatness, now it's about followers. These YouTubers think it's content. This sport changed my life, it ain't a thumbnail. And that line hit like a sermon. Fans began to realize that this wasn't just personal, it was generational. Old school legacy versus new school virality. The man who built an empire off skill versus the kid who built one off Wi-Fi. Jake, of course, didn't see it that way. He doubled down with another Instagram post, writing, Mayweather's jealous because I'm the future. But that comment section turned into a funeral. The top reply said, bro, you're not the future. You're the filler episode. As if that wasn't enough, a leaked message thread between Jake's management and event organizers went viral. It allegedly showed Jake demanding headline-level pay for appearing at a fight he wasn't even part of. That revelation made Floyd's earlier claims look 100% accurate. Suddenly, everyone started calling Jake the clout leech. Even the memes evolved. One viral edit showed Floyd sitting on a throne made of boxing gloves while Jake knelt beside him holding a selfie stick. The caption, know your weight class, digitally and physically. By this point, the tension had evolved beyond words. Both sides were circling each other like predators in designer tracksuits. Promoters started whispering about a real fight. ESPN analysts debated if Floyd would humble Jake in the ring just for sport. Hashtags like Make It Happen and Money V's Clout started trending. The hype was so loud it drowned out everything else. Even the cancelled Gervonta Davis fight became background noise. This was now Floyd versus Jake, the ego match. And just when you thought things couldn't escalate further, Jake made the ultimate mistake. He brought up Floyd's age. During an interview, Jake said, Floyd's 47, I'm faster, fresher, and way hungrier. The clip went viral, but not for the reason he hoped. Mayweather responded in classic fashion, yeah, I'm 47, and undefeated for 47 fights. You can't even stay undefeated in your own comments section. Game over. That line became legend. Memes, merch, TikTok sounds, everywhere. People started calling it the new ether, a reference to the Nas versus Jay-Z diss era. Even rappers began quoting it. The Shade Room reposted it with the caption, some punches don't need gloves. At that point, Floyd had turned a cancelled fight into a full-blown viral empire. His brand skyrocketed, Gervonta's name kept trending, and Jake Paul, he became the punchline he swore he'd never be. But here's the kicker. This wasn't the end of Floyd's revenge tour, because what came next wasn't just exposure, it was retaliation, and when Floyd retaliates, he doesn't shout, he strategizes. The next move he made would flip the entire influencer boxing and scene on its head. And Jake Paul wouldn't see it coming until it was way too late. When Floyd Mayweather fired those last digital bullets, everyone thought the war was over. Jake Paul had been humiliated, dragged, and roasted so hard, the internet was serving his ego medium rare. But in true YouTube villain fashion, Jake didn't crawl away quietly. He re-entered the ring swinging with that I'm the future of boxing delusion turned up to maximum volume. The comeback started with a tweet. Mayweather built a legacy. I'm building an empire. Instantly, the internet rolled its collective eyes. One fan replied, bro, your empire's made of hashtags. Another wrote, Floyd's got belts. You've got Bluetooth gloves. But the tweet did what Jake wanted. It got people talking again. He wanted back in the spotlight, even if it meant dancing in the ashes of his own reputation. Meanwhile, Floyd wasn't even acknowledging him. The champ had moved on. He was attending luxury events, posing with million-dollar watches, and casually dropping wisdom like a retired king watching peasants fight for his leftovers. But behind the calm smile, Sources said Floyd was strategizing again. Because here's the truth, Floyd Mayweather doesn't let chaos fade, he monetizes it. So, when promoters started whispering about an exhibition event to revive real boxing, guess who was first on the call sheet? Floyd. And the twist? He wasn't calling Jake to fight. He was calling Gervonta Davis to finish the story. The concept was simple, but diabolical. If Jake Paul wanted attention, give him the wrong kind. Floyd would promote an event that showcased Gervonta, the fighter Jake once mocked, and use it to prove what real boxing looks like. The title? Legacy vs. Likes, the real main event. The announcement dropped like a bomb. Floyd posted the fight poster with a single caption. This is what the sport looks like when clowns leave the circus. No names, no tags, but everyone knew exactly who the clown was. Within minutes, Jake Paul's name was trending again, for all the wrong reasons. The comments were merciless. Jake's watching from the cheap seats. Somewhere, Jake's shadowboxing his emotions. Even verified celebrities piled in. Snoop Dogg tweeted, "Floyd's still undefeated in real life." But then came the real twist. The Gervonta Davis fight got cancelled again. Chaos. At first, fans blamed logistics, promoters, travel issues, you name it. But then, whispers started swirling that Jake Paul's name had popped up again behind the scenes. Allegedly, Jake's team had tried to organize a competing event the same weekend, trying to steal headlines and split audiences. That's when Floyd went from legend to legend killer. He hopped on live again, calm but surgical, and said, "Jake Paul thinks this sport runs on algorithms. Nah, it runs on honor, hard work, and hands that bleed for greatness. That boy couldn't buy a seat at my table, let alone build one." Boom. Viral again. Millions tuned in. Floyd wasn't even angry. He was philosophical. He had evolved from a fighter into a myth. Every word he said was dissected like scripture by fans, podcasters, and sports analysts. One ESPN host said, "Mayweather's treating Jake Paul like a masterclass in humility." And it was working. Jake's brand was collapsing from the inside. Sponsors started ghosting. Stream numbers dropped. His most valuable promotions company reportedly lost 2 major backers. The golden boy of influencer boxing was suddenly the most radioactive man in sports. Drama. So do the real thing. Smash that like button like it owes you pay-per-view money. Hit subscribe like you're signing a fight contract. And ring that bell harder than Floyd's counterpunch. Because here at the Punch Press, we don't just report the chaos. We throw it in slow motion, replay it, and roast it for dessert. And don't even think about leaving yet. Because the next scandal is already brewing. Rumor has it, another fighter just challenged a legend. And this one might actually swing back. So buckle up, keep your notifications on, and remember, in the fight world, nobody's undefeated forever, except the storylines we expose right here. This is The Punch Press, where the gossip's heavier than the gloves, and the truth hits harder than a left hook. Stay wild, stay tuned, and, as always, don't blink. The next knockout's already trending.